Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to study a science subject known as chemistry. The part of chemistry that we will study is separation techniques, and we are going to study these separation techniques with questions and answers for a better understanding. The first question we have here says, the process of splitting a mixture into its pure contents by physical method is best described as dash. A. Chemical bonding. B. Periodic table. C. Separation technique. D. Periodicity. In this question, the correct answer is C. Separation technique. Separation technique is the process of splitting a mixture into its components by physical method. It's a process of splitting a mixture into its pure content by physical method. This separation technique helps us to extract the content of a mixture for a scientific purpose. The next question says, a physical process of separating an insoluble solid from liquid using a filter is called dash. A. Centrifugation. B. Filtration. C. Decantation. D. Sublimation. In this question, the correct answer is B. Filtration. Filtration is a physical process of separating an insoluble solid from liquid using a filter or using a filter paper. The next question says, which of the following can be used to obtain pure water from a mixture of sand, methanoic acid and water? A. Neutralization with sodium hydroxide followed by distillation. B. Decantation. C. Neutralization with sodium hydroxide followed by filtration. D. Sublimation. In this question, the correct answer is A. Neutralization with sodium hydroxide followed by distillation. Studies have shown in chemistry that when there is a mixture containing water, sand and methanoic acid, the components of this mixture can be separated successfully by neutralizing the methanoic acid with sodium hydroxide followed by distillation. So when this process is carried out, when this neutralization with sodium hydroxide is carried out followed by distillation, a pure substance will be obtained. The next question says, a suspension of chalk dust and water can be separated through dash. A. Filtration. B. Sublimation. C. Centrifugation. D. Crystallization. In this question, the correct answer is A. Filtration. Studies have shown that a suspension of chalk, dust and water can be separated through filtration. This filtration is done in such a way, is done using filter or even filter paper. So in this situation, a filter paper can be used and that water containing a suspension of chalk will be separated. The pure water will be separated from this mixture containing a suspension of chalk dust. The next question says, sieving is a separation technique used to separate solid particles of dash sizes. A. The same sizes. B. Different sizes. C. Large sizes. D. Small sizes. In this question, the correct answer is B. Different sizes. There is a separation technique known as sieving. This sieving is a separation technique employed or used to separate solid particles of different sizes. The next question says, a mixture of sulfur crystals and iodine can be separated by treatment with dash. A. Carbon 4 sulfide to filter off iodine. B. Kerosene to filter off sulfur. C. Sublimation. D. Centrifugation. In this question, the correct answer is A. Carbon 4 sulfide to filter off iodine. Studies have shown that a mixture of sulfur crystals and iodine can be separated by treatment with carbon 4 sulfide to filter off iodine, because these sulfur crystals can dissolve in carbon 4 sulfide. So when carbon 4 sulfide is mixed with this mixture, it will help to filter off iodine, so that at the end of the day a pure substance will now be produced, or a pure substance will now be obtained. The essence of separation techniques in chemistry is to obtain a pure component from a mixture. The next question says, pure solvents are obtained by dash. A. Sublimation. B. Distillation. C. Sieving. D. Crystallization. In this question, the correct answer is B. Distillation. Studies have shown in chemistry that pure solvents are obtained by a technique known as distillation. Even water as a solvent undergoes this process, leading to production of what we call distilled water, which is a pure water. So there are many solvents that undergo distillation process, and when a solvent or when a mixture undergo distillation, a pure solvent will be obtained from this process. The next question says, when a solid substance disappears completely as a gas on heating, the substance is said to have undergone dash. A. Sublimation. B. Crystallization. C. Decantation. D. Filtration. In this question, the correct answer is A. Sublimation. Sublimation is a process whereby a solid substance disappears completely as a gas on heating. It's a process whereby a solid substance changes from solid state directly to gaseous state without passing through the liquid state. So any substance that can undergo this process there are some substances that can undergo this sublimation. So iodine is one of the examples of substance that can undergo sublimation. The next question says, sugar is separated from its impurities by dash: A. Crystallization, B. Distillation, C. Sieving, D. Sublimation. In this question, the correct answer is A. Crystallization. Studies have shown that this organic compound known as sugar is separated from its impurities by this process called crystallization. The next question says, a machine that can spin test tubes containing suspensions at high speed is called dash: A. Centrifuge, B. Microscope, C. Telescope, D. Thermometer. In this question, the correct answer is A. Centrifuge. This centrifuge is a machine that has the ability of spinning test tubes containing suspensions at a very high speed. Studies have shown that in hospitals, this machine can be used to separate cells from a blood sample. This machine can spin test tube containing even blood samples, and at the end of the day, the blood cells will be separated from the plasma. So this machine is useful in the hospital. It's also useful in research environments as one of the machines that plays a great role in separating the components of a mixture. The next question says, separating funnel is used in separation of dash: A. Miscible liquids, B. Immiscible liquids, C. Particles of the same sizes, D. Carotene from carrots. In this question, the correct answer is B. Immiscible liquids. Studies have shown that there is a structure known as separating funnel. This separating funnel is used in separation of immiscible liquids. The next question says, the separation of ink through chromatography is based on the ability of the component to dash: A. Move at different speeds in the column, B. Move at the same speeds in the column, C. React with the solvent, D. React with one another. In this question, the correct answer is A. Move at different speeds in the column. Studies have shown that there is a separation technique known as chromatography. This chromatography is a technique that is used in separating the components of a mixture that move at different speeds in the two areas known as the stationary phase and the mobile phase. So this chromatography is an advanced separation technique, as it helps in separating components of a mixture. So the separation of ink, the components of ink can be separated through this chromatography based on the ability of the ink component to move at different speeds in the column. That's what we call column chromatography. The next question says, a mixture of water and oil can be successfully separated by dash. A. Using a separating funnel. B. Crystallization. C. Sublimation. D. Sieving. In this question, the correct answer is A. Using a separating funnel. We have already said that a separating funnel is used to separate immiscible liquids. And a good example of immiscible liquids are water and oil. So oil cannot dissolve in water. So for us to separate water from oil, we can use this separating funnel to carry out this separation successfully. So a mixture of water and oil can be successfully separated using this material known as separating funnel. The next question says, liquids of different boiling points can be successfully separated through dash. A. Crystallization. B. Fractional distillation. C. Distillation. D. Fractional crystallization. In this question, the correct answer is B. Fractional distillation. Fractional distillation is a separation technique that is used to separate liquids of different boiling points. In the industry, petroleum is an example of a mixture. Petroleum contains different substances. So the components of petroleum can be separated using this process known as fractional distillation. So liquids of different boiling points can be successfully separated through this process or this technique known as fractional distillation. If this is the first time you are watching our video, if this is the first time you are joining this channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel so that you can study other topics that we have treated in many of our videos. In this channel, we make educational videos in science subjects. We study science subjects with questions and answers for a better understanding.